His life was cut short by an assassin's bullet in Memphis, Tennessee. He was only 39. In Dr. King's final address, delivered the night before his death, he told those who had gathered, "I have been to the mountaintop. I fear no man. I have seen the promised land." Dr. King's dream for America and for Americans of color lives on in celebrations such as the one here today and tomorrow. No longer do black Americans have to ride in the back of the bus. No longer can restaurants refuse to serve people because of the color of their skin. No longer can housing be denied on the basis of racial prejudice. No longer are black children relegated to the hand-me-down school supplies once used by white children. We have even elected a black president. But I am here to tell you that racism, discrimination, and bigotry are not dead. While Dr. King's dream lives on, it has not yet been fully realized. Like Moses with the children of Israel, with God's help, he brought us this far. Now we must pick up his staff and tread on. Only yesterday I put on Facebook information about the events of this weekend in Lincoln County and a link to Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech on YouTube. There were some who clicked like on that link. But one white lady, a Sunday school teacher, posted a comment. "They've overcome and now they're taking over." I must admit that I was a bit shocked, but not greatly. The truth is that most of those who harbor racist attitudes and who are guilty of bigotry today are more subtle in their derogation. You won't hear the N-word crossing their lips, but make no mistake, you may still see it in their eyes. But enough about the bigots and those who would stifle the aspirations of those who are in any way, race, ethnicity, or religion different from them. I would note that Jesus seemed much more concerned about the self-righteous leaders of his own people than about the misunderstandings of the pagan world around them. Dr. King's dream has not yet been fulfilled. The number of black-owned businesses in this county is still far less than the African-American percentage of the population, small though it be. There is yet to be a black city councilman, or mayor, or county commissioner, or member of the Board of Education. And I am saddened to note that organizations like the Coalition of Churches and the local unit of the NAACP amount to only a small number of largely older citizens, and that many younger African Americans are no more aware of the history of the civil rights movement than are their Caucasian classmates. When the children of Israel were about to enter the Promised Land, there were two families, those of Reuben and of Gad, who asked to be left behind. Moses agreed, but only after they promised to join in the fight with the other Israelites until their dream had been realized. So I'm saying to you today, even if you are satisfied with the status quo, even if you can content yourself with what freedoms have been realized, even if you are willing to accept the fact that people of color are subjected to covert discrimination, you owe it to your brothers and sisters to take up Dr. King's cause, to make Martin Luther King Day truly not a day off, but the day when you take up the fight with a new determination. Perhaps you are not personally concerned that nearly 1 in 4 African American families is living in poverty. Perhaps you are not really interested in the fact that our so-called justice system incarcerates blacks at 6 times the rate of whites. Perhaps you did not, as I did, appeal unsuccessfully to the Georgia Board of Paroles to spare the life of Troy Davis, who, despite evidence to the contrary, was denied clemency and put to death late last year. Perhaps you are not bothered by the fact that while African Americans represent less than 15% of the U.S. population, nearly half of the inmates on death row are black. Perhaps you are so involved with your own personal ambitions that you don't want to be bothered with the problems being faced by others. It's time you awoke and realized that there is an elephant in the room. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about political parties. It was a Democrat, Lyndon Johnson, who, carrying out the anti-communist stance of his predecessor, John F. Kennedy, sent thousands of young Americans to die in Vietnam for no good cause. We didn't learn much. President Obama has now pulled our troops out of Iraq, and it appears that once again we've accomplished little more than wasting billions of dollars and thousands of lives. And I will be very surprised if Afghanistan turns out any different. If the young people of today, especially those who because of race, ethnicity, or national origin don't take up Dr. King's fight, we will have won a few battles, but we will lose the war. I urge you, young and old, to make this truly a day on and not a day off. Get involved with a coalition of churches, the NAACP, or other organizations who will continue the fight for true freedom. Get involved in the political process. Speak up and speak out before it is too late. As Dr. King said way back in 1963, now is the time. Please help me to honor his memory by keeping his dream alive.
All right.
Amen.
Thank you, Wayne. You know, when I asked him to do something, he does it, and he does it well. All right. The announcements by Secretary Mrs. Johnson-Buckley.
Good afternoon. I'm sure all y'all have the insert in your program. We just want to uplift this celebration of Black History at the Lincoln Cultural Center. It's going to be the life and the times of Fannie Lou Hammer. It's Saturday, February 4th. February 4th, 7 o'clock p.m. at Temple Performance Hall. And they have other events that's going to be going on for the month of February for Black History. But one of them I just wanted to uplift was the free movies in the Lincolnton Performance Hall on Sunday, February the 19th. This might be a good idea for families coming together, churches bring their youth, and the youth come up on the fourth Sunday, Sunday, February the 19th, that's third Sunday, for the free movies here. Color Purple at 4 p.m. and then the pictures at 2 o'clock p.m. And there's other events that will be going on for the month of February. But also, our Black History program will be here on the fourth Sunday in February. So now's the time to go back for your churches to get participation. And you will be getting letters out about the program, but it is going to be announced as of today, the fourth Sunday, here at the Cultural Center. Our regular monthly meetings are first Monday nights, 6:30 p.m. in NAACP, and this is held at the Oakland Center School, and then the coalition meets on the second Monday night of each month at 7 o'clock p.m. So we ask you to come out and support our meetings and be part of it. And also, let's still continue praying for the coalition, as a lot of you might know that we're still in with the lease for the Oakland School, and as of September, our lease is up, and the county commissioners have not gotten back with the coalition as to who will be getting the Oakland School. Be in prayer for us that the right decisions are being made as they decide on who should get the school. On tomorrow morning, we will continue with our breakfast at 8:30 a.m. here at the Cultural Center. Downstairs will be breakfast. At 11:30 p.m., we will have, 11:30 a.m., excuse me, we will have a youth program. All the youth, churches to your youth that's going to be participating, try to be here at least by 11 o'clock or 11:15. We will have youth pastor Josh Ramsor from Fancy Hill Church as our speaker, and also associate pastor Titus Hopper from Faith Harvest in Shelby will be the youth program speakers. For the breakfast speaker, we will have the Reverend Tabitha Standback from Hernish Chapel, Amazon Church. And then at 3 o'clock p.m., we will line up here across the Fifth Third Bank, and we'll march towards the courthouse for our march. And I think several people have been asked, if you would like to be a speaker or have something to say when we get to the courthouse, please see myself, Sister Foster, Reverend Wingate, that we can have your names down, or Dr. Creed, so that we will know who will be speaking. So if you would like to say something, please let us know that we will have it down. Also, on Monday night at our coalition meeting, we had Mr. Jason Park who's here with his Historic Association of Preservation. And they're going to be doing, he has a young lady doing an internship, African-American lady, and she's a UNC, I think at UNC Charlotte. But what she's doing is for the churches, and I'm sure that in the community, any history from African-American that you have, that we will be trying to help her as she do her project. You might be getting calls of people coming out interviewing different people about things that you remember. And on Monday night, he mentioned some of them, as Sister Audie Odoms, that you know she's already deceased. I think he admitted Providence a couple years back. And Sister Rice, you know, she's gone. These are older people that had memory and history of Lincoln County. So I'm sure there's other people, I think Buffalo Shoals area, I think Miss Dora Finger was mentioned, and some other people in your churches that you might know that can give history. I know Miss Fannie Norman, Miss Christine was asked in at Providence, but anything that next couple of weeks or so you will be maybe getting a letter of information that could be of interest to help so that they can have this for the Historic Association. Okay, that's all our announcements. Thank you.
The choir is coming down to do another selection. While they're coming, I have been handed a note that we have voter registration forms out front, so if you have not registered to vote, please sign up today. Come now, choir, and bless us with another song.